There is no item of clothing cooler than a leather jacket, but what type of leather jacket should you get? You may have noticed there are an awful lot of them, and so to break it down into relatively simple categories, we have here Jason Schott of Schott NYC. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for being here.
We are at Schott NYC in NYC. Schott actually was the first company to put a zipper on a leather jacket, and they are responsible for just a huge amount of the popularity of leather jackets and pop culture's most beloved leather jackets. Plenty of military contracts throughout the years as well. And we're breaking down 5-ish types of leather jackets for you to know about and a few examples of each. And you will see that we wanted to have a nice firm. We have 5, there are 6, there are 7, but a lot of the names people use tend to kind of bleed into each other and it gets a little bit blurry. So we're being honest with you here and we're going to break it down as broadly as we can and let you know that sometimes there are some exceptions here and there, but you're still going to learn a lot in this. Let's start with number 1. What have we got here?
We're going to start with the motorcycle jackets. And I would start with the Perfecto jacket, this asymmetric motorcycle jacket.
This is the Schott jacket. You've seen 1,000,001 people make their own versions of this jacket, but accept no imitations. Schott are the ones who came up with this style.
It's only a Perfecto jacket if it's made by Schott. It's got the asymmetric shape, which helps to block the wind. It's called the double rider's jacket by some. There are different elements of it, the belt, the coin pocket. It's a little bit hardcore, it's a little in your face. There's a mentality, it has transformative powers, but this is your classic Perfecto motorcycle jacket.
Yeah, but you would also call what I'm wearing here, this is the Cafe Racer.
Yes.
It's also a motorcycle jacket.
So the Cafe and the asymmetric are both motorcycle jackets.
Okay, so what would you say the core features of a motorcycle jacket? What makes it a motorcycle jacket?
The weight of the leather, the functionality, blocking the wind, protecting your skin. There are plenty of companies that do what they call a motorcycle jacket look, but if you can't wear it on a motorcycle, I wouldn't qualify it.
I think you call this an action back, the bi-swing?
We call it a bi-swing, yeah.
Bi-swing?
Our motorcycle jackets, we always put a bi-swing or give it some extra range of motion to allow you to maneuver on a motorcycle.
I feel like that's a pretty important part of
it. It is an important part.
When you're holding onto the handles, right?
There's elastic that's sewn into connecting this back panel. And so when you reach your arms out, it's gonna snap back into shape. And so it gives you that extra range of motion. And then we oftentimes will put these underarm footballs on there as well to give you extra range of motion vertically.
Okay, so we could say what makes a leather jacket a motorcycle jacket is you want thick enough leather to handle that environment. You need zips to block the wind, and you need some more mobility than is common in the arms.
Yes. The other thing I would just mention is also you want to have that ability to shut the wind out. So having that flexibility to zip up your sleeves allows you to block the wind, because otherwise you're going to blow up like a balloon on a motorcycle.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. That's a pretty common, if not core feature.
It's a very important feature of motorcycle jacket.
Got it. Okay, great. All right. Next up, we have the trucker jacket. I feel like a lot of people, they hear trucker jacket, they think of like a denim jacket or a canvas jacket, but the leather trucker jacket is its own thing. And we have a few different types of jackets here that would get called a trucker jacket. Some people search for leather denim jacket on the internet, which you might think makes no sense, but I'd call this a leather denim jacket. This is the style of a denim jacket, but it's in leather.
Yes.
But we're talking about, these are trucker jackets. Walk us through the trucker jacket.
A few of the important elements, the waistband at the bottom, as well as the shorter length. So these are going to be generally about 25-inch. They're inspired by denim jackets, but it's the shorter length, the button front, button or snaps in the front.
Got it.
Those are very important.
And this flat pocket, is that also an important part, or just it tends to come along with it?
It tends to come along with it.
And we've also got this one here. This is nubuck, right? Is it nubuck?
It's yes, it's an oiled nubuck. Yes.
Yeah, and this looks more like something you'd expect to see on like a farmer with the contrast color. This is also considered a trucker jacket, isn't it?
Because of the length, because of the waistband, I would consider this to be a trucker jacket as well.
All right, okay, cool. So the core features of the trucker jacket, it is not a zipper closure, it's got the waistband and it's a bit shorter. Another one that is less popular, but you might have seen around, this gets called, what's this one called?
I would call this a delivery jacket.
Yes.
And I would say one of the main differences, it doesn't have the waistband that is typically found in trucker jackets, and it's usually a little bit longer. So this one would generally be about 27 inches for a back length.
You know, for me, when I'm looking for like a boring leather jacket, like I just wanted to have, I'm not calling this a boring leather jacket, but I mean, if I just want like a normal pointed collar, I don't want it to be too fancy. Oftentimes the jackets that I wind up finding are called delivery jackets, right? Like it doesn't have like a ton of features. I've got kind of a long torso, so I tend to look for like slightly longer jackets. That's also a feature of a delivery jacket, is that right?
It's a very classic, basic jacket. Also, it usually has a kidney back panel. So if you look at the back, you'll see a lot of delivery jackets will have this reinforcement at the bottom. But I think it's just a classic look. And I think if somebody is looking for a basic leather jacket that isn't too in your face, this is a perfect place to go.
So delivery jacket, we'd say that the main points here tends to be a little bit longer and tends to have this kidney panel. All right, and the last category is the hardest to pin down. You will find many different leather jackets with the names flight jacket and bomber jacket. How would you define a bomber jacket?
I think one of the most important things that I would consider for a bomber jacket would be the knit waistband. This is actually a leather MA1. All of these bomber jackets, flight jackets are inspired by military styles. This one actually, we were looking earlier at some denim jackets that inspired leather. This style was originally developed as a nylon jacket, an MA1 for the US military. We've done it in leather here. So it's got the knit collar, but the leather flight jacket, that's one of the major signatures is the knit waistband.
Got it, yeah, okay, the knit waistband. This is tying it together. I'm going through all these things I've seen called bomber jackets in my head, and it's like, how are these all the same thing? But yeah, the knit waistband. And this, it makes it a little, it helps to block wind, or just makes it more easy to size different people?
Well, it's a little bit of a blouson shape, so it's a little bit tighter in the waist and it gives you room. So you've got room to move up above, but it's still holding that close to your body. So it is helping to block the wind. It's also just keeping that tight to your body.
Okay, we've got another very old style one. This is another example of what you might call a bomber jacket or a flight jacket. This is the A1, and this predates when people were putting zippers on jackets. Is that
That's right.
So this is a bomber jacket from before we were putting zippers on jackets. And you might think this barely looks like anything I've seen called a bomber jacket, but there it is. There's the knit. This is not a reproduction. I don't think they had blue leather jackets in the military or anything, but no. This is actually a very historical look. These here are called A2 jackets. A lot of people, when they hear flight jacket or bomber jacket, they think, oh yeah, the furry collar, right?
That one, our style 184 SM, is more inspired by an A2. This is more of an accurate A2 jacket over here. The fur collar is something that was added on. That's really stolen from a G1 style.
And this is a G1, which is also often called a flight jacket.
Yeah, so the A2 and the G1 both came about from the same period. The US military, the Army Air Forces or the Air Force had the A2 and the Navy had the G1. So the fur collar is really more a G1 type style. So that's why this is a bit of a hybrid in the middle.
And that's also why you wanted to say flight jacket or bomber jacket, because once you start getting into the letters, you'll suddenly find a bunch of contradictions and tricky things like that.
That's right.
The last jacket we're going to show you, which is also often called a bomber jacket. What's the name of this jacket here?
So this is the B3.
This is the B3. What's the history of this jacket?
This jacket was worn by the gunners on the wings of the airplanes. During World War II, the bombers, the gunners, they were all wearing these extremely warm B3 jackets to keep warm. It's made intentionally roomy so that they have room to move around, but it's also very functional and very warm. And so that's
What kind of leather is this?
It's sheepskin. It's a leatherized sheepskin. So the fur of the animal is actually on the inside, which helps keep you warm and is also moisture wicking. The outside has been finished with a coating to give it more protection against the elements.
So it's shearling, that's called, right?
It is shearling.
Okay, so this, you'll often see this also called a bomber jacket, but this doesn't have the elasticated bottom, and it also doesn't have those two front pockets that you often see on flight jackets and all the rest of it. So, you know, people do call this a bomber jacket, but you're better off calling the ones with the elastic bottoms.
The reality is it was worn on bomber planes. It was worn in flight, so you could absolutely call it either one of those. But I think the more common terminology for a flight jacket would be the ones with the knit bottom.
Got it. All right, cool. Well, that is the main categories of leather jacket. If you can see behind us, there are 100,000 million other types of leather jackets here. This is not every single type of leather jacket on Earth. But I think that's a pretty good overview of the main categories of leather jacket to help you make your purchase. And whichever one you want, boy, Schott NYC sells all of them.
We're here.
All right, and we gotta go because the store is open. So thank you for having us in the store.
Nick, thank you very much.
All right, and subscribe here as well and check out Schott at the link below.